Hey everyone, welcome to 5 More Minutes, the show where two friends relive their childhoods or, in some cases, learn about every freaking thing they missed out on. I'm Kendra,
And I'm Scott.
and I've had kind of like a scratchy voice all day, so I hope I'm not getting sick.
Yeah,
And I've felt exhausted, so
solid.
yeah.
All good signs.
Yeah, super great.
Yeah.
Like I talked during first hour, and it was like the first time I'd really talked all day. And I was like, I said like 3 words, and then I was like, wait, guys, do I sound weird? And they were like, yeah, miss. I was like, dang it.
Dang it. Yeah, dang it.
Oh, yeah. You got those almas back there, man?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
I'm like so convinced that I want some. And I got those dunks yesterday on Whatnot, and then they just added the Adobe ones to the sneakers app.
Yeah. That's how it
I
goes.
I may not get those. I don't know. I like them, but I probably would not wear them that much because of the color
Yeah.
and because I bought shoes on. And because next month there's like 17,000 pairs.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be heavy. I found some stupid jokes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What country's capital is growing the fastest?
Growing the fastest.
Uh-huh.
Can you give me like a region?
Europe?
Dang it, that's a big region. I I don't know.
Ireland. Because every day it's Dublin.
Gosh, dang it. I was thinking I was trying to get like grow to be into a word.
Mm,
So I was like thinking a little bit too literally about that one, I
a
think.
little bit.
Yeah.
Um, this one's more of a statement, a weird one. I once had a dream I was floating in an ocean of orange soda. It was more of a fantasy.
I
Yeah,
bet that was Kel's dream.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
All these are like not really. What's the best smelling insect?
The best smelling insect?
Yeah.
Um, a ladybug because they smell like ladies.
A deodorant. Yep. Juice for
That's
days.
that's yikes, man.
Yikes, bro.
Huh.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was like, oh, I'll say that after the jokes.
Oh no.
I don't know.
It's already
Someone
lost.
purchased those. What? I'm lost.
Said you're already lost.
Oh, someone bought those foam posits and then didn't pay for them, and their account was like all Chinese symbols, and they had no reviews. So I
Solid.
canceled the order and relisted. I mean, I
Yeah.
waited like 3 days just to be sure, but I relisted it, and people bid on it at like $25. And last time it just sold for like the first bid. I was like, what? And then
There you
these
go.
bitches, I've lowered the price like 4 times on. I was thinking now that I could just take these to SneakerCon and try to get someone to buy them from me for like $30 because I really don't care at this point. I just want some of the money back.
Yeah.
And then I'll be
Basically.
like interacting at SneakerCon, you know?
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. There's a
What
lot of dog hair
do
on
you
this bitch.
okay? I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Having issues over there.
So what you been doing?
Just working, not really sleeping for some reason, so that's always fun.
I haven't been able to like fall asleep still, which is great since in 2 weeks I'm not going to be able to go to the gym after work and I need to like actually get my sleep schedule switched back.
Yeah. I don't know what my deal is. It's like, I don't know if it's part of that weird throat thing or what, but yeah. I can't fall asleep until like 2:30 or 3 or when I'm like totally exhausted.
That's rough. My students
Mm-hmm.
do that on purpose. They don't know what it's like to be old.
Yeah, I used to do that on purpose, but not
I spent the
anymore.
last hour trying to figure out what shoes to get for softball. I don't know if I said that already. It's hard to find purple shoes apparently. And
Or you
but
just gonna get like coach shoes.
well, I was just gonna get some like turf trainers in like purple, but that's like
Mm-hmm.
hardly exists. There's some like weird Adidas ones. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll just get a pair of purple running shoes because I don't want to spend that much money on these because they're just gonna get dirty anyways. But then
Mhm.
all the purple shoes are either like lavender or they have like 3 accent colors. Or they're out of stock in my size. Like stupid stuff. Like so dumb.
I just
But
went on Amazon and got blue Mizuno's, like the coach shoes,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, I mean that's basically what I'm looking at, but like none of Adidas is like the only brand that has purple. And I
Huh.
don't like any of the styles, so that's probably a me thing. But I might Noble, like the brand that I get some of my CrossFit shoes in, they have turf trainers and I get like 20% off on their website. So they'd be a little bit more, but they're just like gray and they're made out of like really good material. So I might just get those instead because I think that they'd last like a couple years, but
Nice.
I don't know. I'm so annoyed about those golf clubs though.
And you bought them anyway.
Yeah. Well, I literally looked at them yesterday and like I could have gotten them because I was going to do them pay in 5 anyways, but I was just trying to like wait until my tax return came just because like that's what I was, using my tax return for.
Mhm.
And then I was like, should I order them? And then I was like, no, I'll just wait. And it got deposited like 2 weeks sooner than it was supposed to because I did it so early. But
Yeah.
then I went to order them and it was like $600 again. And I was like, gosh dang it. I should have just done it because it would have saved me like so much money. But then I ordered them on Callaway. So I got free shipping. And then I got 1,800 Callaway points, which is like $18. So I don't know. I could get like 2 golf balls with that or something. And then
Damn.
I just did the PayPal pay in for because I still just kind of didn't want to do like the big payment, especially since it was more than I was going to spend or what I had thought I was going to spend. And now I might just wait to get golf shoes and use those CrossFit shoes a little bit longer and then maybe get some in like a couple months because like I don't have to get it all right now. But
Yeah. You got
um
time.
but uh oh, but when I did the PayPal notification, it like showed up on my phone. It's like $650. And I was like, I clicked on pay on four. What's that about? But then I opened PayPal and it was like minus 150. And I was like, oh, okay. Like
Weird.
the notification came through. So I was like, oh man.
And I paid the whole
I
thing.
was like, I mean, I
Dang
can
it.
afford that right now, but I didn't want to.
Yeah. Makes sense. And
Yeah,
then you're gonna
man.
have to go practice, huh?
Yeah, man.
Gee, man, bro.
I don't know. You shouldn't have got me into the shoe thing. I mean, I know that like the shoe thing's been around for a while because like, our early shoe days was us going to Famous Footwear and doing the buy one get one half off thing.
Yeah,
And then that just really evolved. So
it has. Yeah, it's taking a life of its own.
yeah. And I'm not even that bad.
Yeah,
And
I
a
am.
lot of the shoes that I like are like I don't know, I'm really in like a dunk thing right now, but I like dunks and Air Maxes better. But I think that's just because I feel like they match my style a little bit better. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but there's gonna be some hot releases soon.
There
And
is.
if I get any of those,
All
that's
bets are off.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But I really our listeners, whoever they are, probably don't care about shoes, but I have seen like nothing else about those dunk highs and I want them so bad. I
That's
also found a
fine.
place online that sells patterns for dunk highs, and I really want to get a sewing machine and make my own shoes during the summer. It is
Wow.
like 125 per size though. So
Mm, yeah.
because I was like, oh, I can make Scott shoes, I can make me shoes, and then I was like, wait, it's 125 for each pattern. Yikes! I was like, why can't
Yeah.
you bundle it? Like, why isn't it buy one get one half off?
You know, it should be. Should write them an angry letter.
Yeah, bitches.
Get your act together, people.
But I keep making a joke about how I want to write like a stand up comedy bit and do it as a lesson, like make my lesson into stand up comedy. And I like actually really want to do that, but I like don't have the energy to try to do it.
As with most things.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Maybe though.
Maybe.
Anyways,
Yeah.
do you have anything
Exciting
else?
stuff.
Oh, one of my students. Okay. So some of my students, they like wanted some of my dice shop stickers. So since I haven't really been selling dice, I still have like 2 stacks like this big, like this one and this one, like this many of each.
Yeah.
So I brought some Dennis, I can't answer it. So I brought some in one day because they said they wanted some. I just brought like several of each. And one of my students decided that this now stands for Bad Bitch Dice Shop.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Getting
they were
titles.
like, "Miss, you should rebrand." And I was like, I mean, I don't really know about that, but
See how it takes online.
yeah.
Oh
So maybe
yeah.
Bad Bitch Dice Shop will be coming to a store near you.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it'll sell more because it's edgy or whatever.
Yeah, people like, you know, people like being edgy. They like being edge lords.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Why not?
boats and hoes and stuff.
Boats and hose. I'm not sure how that relates, but yes.
Me either. It just came to mind.
Oh, okay. Fair
Wait,
enough.
what movie is that from?
Step Brothers.
Oh yeah. Well, I was talking about Step Brothers yesterday, so that might be why. I was talking about the scene where the one brother and his wife and kids are singing in the car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. Classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nisa
Movie so
didn't really
weird.
know what I was talking about though. She also okay. I know that you probably didn't watch Full House,
Nope.
but you know what it is.
I know it's
Vaguely.
a show.
Like
I
you've
don't know
heard of
any
it. And
the
it has
name.
Mary Kate
Sure.
and Ashley Olsen.
Okay.
Oh my god. She did not know what it was. I did the cut it out thing.
I don't know what that means.
Jesus Christ. Now I have to tell Megan that you don't know either.
Cut it out. I've never watched a single episode.
But you've never seen anyone do the cut it out thing and just been like, huh, what's that from?
No. Cut it
Anyways, I
out.
showed
Cut
her
out
like
your
a five
bullshit.
minute clip from the show, and I think she was intrigued. She wants to watch it.
Have fun with that. Isn't there like a shit ton of episodes?
Probably because it was a sitcom.
Yeah.
But she's also been watching One Tree Hill, and she's very engrossed.
Wow. And you're probably like, yeah.
I mean, I haven't even watched it in like 4 years, so
Well, I mean, you've watched it enough for like 3 lifetimes. So,
I mean, I've watched Friends enough for like 9 lifetimes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's fine though. Everyone
It's
has their
fun.
vices, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. Them TV shows, their vice.
Oh yeah, man.
Can't quit.
All right. Anyways, I guess
Anywho,
we can talk about all the shit.
all the shit.
So we're talking about The Legend of Vox Machina, season 2, episodes 7 through 9. I really don't like the way I can hear my voice now with the headphones on. It sounds a little squeaky, like it's peaking a little bit.
Oh, why?
Like that's just what it sounds like to me.
Oh, but why would it be different this time? Just because your voice?
Yeah, because like I'm
Ah,
um
that's not good.
because like my throat is scratchy. Anyways, Megan said like Bob. Well, it's a typo. It says Bob Safety, but like Bob Safety Full House. How? All caps.
I mean, I knew he was in it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's basically it.
Wait. Hold on. He knows he was in it. Okay.
As literally the only person, though. I didn't know the twins or
And
whatever you said were
that's
in
the only person,
it.
not the twins. This bitch.
This bitch.
Okay. Anyways, we're talking about episode 7, 8, and 9 of The Legend of Vox Machina. And Scott wants me to do the thing because I watched it today, even though we know that I'm bad. I watched one episode during my prep while I was
I watched it
stapling.
on Sunday, so it's already been a little while.
When I was stapling things together, and then I watched the other two when I got home. But I was eating during one of them, so I ordered a burger and it was good. So, and I did also find a couple like reviews that are like midway point. I mean, there are some reviews online that are from like people who got early access to it also, but I
Oh yeah,
didn't really pick any of
just for the
those.
general public.
And I mean, I guess we are like, well, these ones are actually Rotten Tomatoes reviews, so they might be pre whatever also. I don't know. The reading the reviews might be a hot mess. Maybe I'll start with that though.
Jumping in, reading reviews.
So these on Rotten Tomatoes are critic reviews for season 2. Wait, was this? Hold on, time out.
Time out. Pause. Hold the phone. Get on out of here.
Oh, okay. So the season 2, it has in stats for season 2, like critic consensus and stuff already too.
Mm.
So there's less critic ratings right now, probably because it's still in the middle of it, but the tomato meter is still at 100%.
Snap.
And the audience score for season 2 is at 98%.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good.
And the critic consensus is double the dosage of dragons, along with swashbuckling antics. The Legend of Vox Machina's sophomore season goes from strength to strength as a richly imagined adventure tale.
There you go.
Yeah, I got too prepared for the swashbuckling, and it I said with kind of funny.
Would swashbuckling?
Yeah. So let's see here.
Yeah.
Oh, they're down here. Okay. So, critic reviews. Let's see. This one's 3.5 out of 5.
On the lower end of them, probably.
All in all, the second season of The Legend of Vox Machina is just as action-packed as the first. The animation is exquisite, and the gang continue to shine. I clicked on it to make sure there wasn't more. Wait, is there more? Wow, my computer is kind of big. How's my internet at 400 megabytes? Jesus Christ, I'm frozen. Oh, I'm back.
It's got to be Zoom.
Yeah,
it has to be
100% Zoom. That's a long review, actually. I should just read the. Zoom sucks. It's a bitch.
Yes.
All that season 1 built is but a drop in the ocean of the vastness that awaits in season 2.
World building and things.
Oh, yeah. Ready? Ready?
Ready for what?
Hold on.
Oh.
I need you to feel what I'm thinking, and I need you to do it with me. So I'm going to read the review again.
Okay.
All that season 1 built is but a drop in the ocean of the vastness that awaits in season 2. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. A drop in the ocean. A change in the weather. I was praying that you and me might end up together. Wait, did you know what I was going to do?
No. Oh. I mean, I knew you were probably going to sing something, but I didn't know what part of that
It's a drop in the ocean by Ron Pope.
Oh, yeah. I totally know what that is.
You've never heard that song?
No.
It's from 2007. So I bet if you heard it. What is this bargain at?
Your mother.
Oh, she's not here, I hope.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. I feel like if you heard it, you would know it. That's like an iconic chorus.
Iconic for what?
I feel like just everyone knows it. It's I guess it's technically folk. That's what Google says.
Folk?
Yeah.
Well, there's no
it's
folk
like
music.
Wishing for rain as I stand in the desert, but I'm holding you closer than most because you are my heaven. It's probably like what was that one guy's name that started with an E? Edwin McCain. It's probably in like the same genre of whatever that is.
I don't know who that is.
You know the All Be guy? All Be your crying
yeah, I know that
shoulder.
Song
yeah, it's like in the same genre as that.
I see.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, does Megan know this song? He doesn't know a drop in the ocean. I can relate like everything to a song though. That's like I feel like that's one of my like talents.
Well, my special skills, if you will.
Yeah, that's how come I had to show my students the Dixie Chicks video.
Oh.
Anyways, I thought you would be there with me.
hard to, and I don't even know the material, but yeah.
Okay, here's another review. Vox Machina remains loud, lewd, and as chaotic good as they come. This time around, the enemies are stronger. The Vox Machina are more vulnerable, and you truly feel as though you're on an adventure with good friends, just like Critical Role. Wow, man. Megan also thought it was funny that you didn't know that song. And yeah, Megan doesn't know music. He said what? Laughing emoji.
I know rock or whatever. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that would be close enough to rock.
No.
Okay. There is so much heart and fun in the Grandiose adventure that it becomes more
Grandiose. I continue.
Grandiose. Whatever. Grandiose. I also like my voice like kind of squeaked a little bit in there too.
Grandiose.
It becomes more than just an epic fantasy show and turns into something really special. Bigger, bloodier, and with even greater stakes.
Oh yeah, blood,
Oh yeah. There
gore.
is a 1 star, or nope, sorry, a 2.5 star review from one day ago, an audience review. It's by
Wow.
Ricardo R. Huge improvements over season 1. Parentheses. My guess is that the budget was bigger. The animation is much better. Parentheses, but still has a lot of room to grow. And the directing is more mature. My gripes with season 2 come from the writing, but I guess that's more of a source material problem. I'm actually interested in a season 3, especially if it improves like season 2 did with season 1.
Okay.
Do
Kind
you
of
feel
like
like the
backhanded
animation
compliments.
is different?
No.
Me either.
Seemed the same.
And I don't really know about that with the directing either, because I also feel like it's the same.
Yeah. Well, I have a list of directors right here. Let's see. Let's see if they are the same. There's a lot of them that are the same.
Yeah. One of
Well,
these reviews is OMG. Why is no one talking about this? It's so good. 5 stars.
so good. So good.
Yeah, maybe like the Sphinx and the Dragons or something like that other reviewer really liked more. Like maybe there's more like creatures to show the animation style better. Let's do a
More of that
soft read
3D.
or a good read. What's it called? A soft read? Or when you're trying to find the good, a gracious read, maybe is what I'm going for.
What are you talking about?
Like, let's try to read his review graciously. The two and
Okay.
a half star.
Like
We're not
optimistically?
on the same page today.
No. Gracious is like thankful.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We're
Hold
gonna
on.
thankfully read his review.
Define gracious read. Why is it in caps lock? Okay.
Caps lock. Oh no, you're freezing again.
God dang it.
Okay, you're
No,
back.
gracious, having or showing kindness, courtesy, charm. So
So we're just being nice.
we're doing a kind read. Like we're
I
kindly
see.
reading and understanding.
Okay.
Okay. Jesus. Anyways, I think that's about it for the reviews. This is a little hit or miss in the whole mid-season. Oh wait, here, let's read this one.
Oh,
The
okay.
urge for disappointment was corroded by the acidic breath of the formidable, ruthless, and tyrannical dragon, giving life to the exciting horror of magical realms. This is the best season yet. Building on the first season, the wealth of relationships deepen, and the legend of Vox Machina can now live up to an unprecedented future by embracing dark, twisted, and raving monsters of the past.
It was a very dramatic review that someone left.
Yeah. There were reading cues in there. Like it told me how to read it and everything.
Wow, like stage
Yeah.
notes.
Good
It's
job,
impressive.
Chris R.
Wow, well
Yeah.
done, Chris.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, I just thought, we'd spice it up a little bit by adding some reviews and whatnot in there.
Some of that good stuff, yeah.
So I guess now I have to do the
I mean, you
the
just do like the run through. I'll still like, step in.
well, I did pull up a detailed one just in case, because I feel like I need help, even though I just watched it. So
Yeah.
episode 7 is called the Fae Realm. So,
Ooh.
but when we ended the 6th episode, they had been split up. So Scanlan, Grog, and Pike didn't make it through the swirly thing, the transportation circle
Yeah.
or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it. And everyone else had ended up in the Fae realm, instead of where were they trying to go again? I forget.
They were trying to go there. They
Oh,
were just trying to bring everybody.
oh,
Yeah.
but were they trying to go to a specific spot in the Fae realm,
I
or
think they were trying to get closer to the tree that Scanlan saw, but they couldn't.
yeah? Okay, so they end up in the Fae realm, and they don't really know what happened to everyone else or why they didn't make it there. So they're all like, blaming each other and whatnot. Mostly Keyleth is blaming herself.
Right.
But Vax, since they kind of have a little bit of like a kind of relationship going on, he's like, no, man, like you saved us all from dying.
It's chill, bro.
Yeah. But then, they're walking around in the Fae realm and they're trying to go find the bow that they need to kill the dragons.
Right.
And Percy is supposed to be knowledgeable of the Fae realm because he studied it, because he's a dork, and he was like, "OMG, I'm going to read all these books or whatever." But I think at one point he's like, "Oh, this is not how it was in the books," or something, or no, at the end he's like, "This was more fun in the books." I think.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
this
when
place was way
yeah,
better in the books.
they reach an awoken grave, and Vax is attacked by the plants. Because in the Fey realm, like everything, like plants, like in other D&D things I've listened to, like they talk to like sunflowers and stuff. Like
Oh,
the plants, it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, I feel like, but more intense. Not
more
all of Alice in
deadly.
Wonderland, but like the. I've really never watched that movie before. Actually, my main knowledge of Alice in Wonderland has come from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever watched like the whole animated one all the way through.
Yeah. Wait, is there a non-animated one?
Well, there's that weird one with like Johnny Depp and stuff in
Oh,
it.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah.
Anyways, eventually Vex notices that there's a creature watching them. And I think before it reveals itself, they switch back to
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
others.
To the other group.
So there's a lot of back and forth in these 3 episodes, which is automatically going to make me remember the order of events not as well. Especially, when I'm tired.
Yeah.
But Scanlan, Pike, and Grog land in a barren, rocky landscape. And so did they like kind of go through the thing, just not make it all the way through?
Yeah, so like they were like teleported out of the dragon's, well, it was I guess the Sphinx's place, but the dragon was attacking. They were teleported out successfully, but their group like split in the teleport, so they stayed in the
Yeah, in
normal
the
realm and
normal
just
world,
got
yeah.
shot somewhere else.
So Pike is pretty wounded. I think at the end of the 6th episode, we didn't necessarily know her fate.
No, we just knew she was skewered.
Yeah. But she can't fully heal herself because the blade, the craven edge, is sucking her blood out. Or
The vampire sword.
yeah. So Grog, he has like a what is a cursed weapon basically. So
Yeah.
he's trying to defend it, being like, no, it like makes me strong. But they want him to get rid of it because like, it's like whispering shit to him and whatever.
It's like evil and whatever.
So he like approaches her pretty murderously.
He does.
But then he remembers like, what her face looked like when he stabbed her. And he hits the rocks trying to destroy the blade.
Yeah, he has a change of heart, his inner turmoil, and he wins over the sword.
Yeah. He's got tweakers on his head like I did in high school.
Yeah, tweakers in his beard.
Yeah. And then the sword cries. And that's pretty sad, honestly. But then Grog succeeds in shattering it. But didn't they need it? Didn't they need the sword for something? Or am I getting that confused with the other
You're getting with the vestiges. This was just something he took off of whatever those people were called.
Yeah, the Briarwoods or
yes, the Briarwood.
Okay. Anyways, he falls to the ground as he shatters the sword.
Yeah, the sword is like talking to him as he's like cracking. And it's like, okay, well, if you're taking me out, I'm taking you with me. I think was its last words.
Yeah. And we'll come back to that because it took some stuff.
It took some things.
And so then it cuts back to the other group and they start to feel like they're going in circles and they get notice the creature spying on them and they find a really small satyr who's just like drawing in a book.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, satyr is a goat man.
Goat man.
Kind of like that guy from Hercules.
Yes, exactly like that.
Yeah, but what is his name?
Philoctetes.
Oh yeah, Philotits.
Right. Mature. That's what we're about here.
Yeah. The other day I was naming different dinosaurs and inserting tits into it. Like, what did I say? Triceratops, Stegotitus.
Okay.
Tyrannotitty Rex.
Okay.
Velocititter.
Why were you doing this exactly?
I don't remember.
Of course.
I really have no idea like why I started talking about dinosaurs and tits.
Yeah, it's quite a pair of things to put together, but
Yeah, but it was fun, you
yeah,
know?
not
Yeah.
not don't knock it till you try it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So then it cuts back to the other people. Why do I have to explain the episode where there's so much back and forth? And as Grog wakes up, he's withered and he's much more puny than normal. He's a slender half giant rather
Mhm.
than a beefy boy half
He ain't
giant.
got no cake no more or any of
No,
that.
he cut too hard, skipped arm day.
I skipped all the days.
And he has no strength. He's pretty weak.
Mhm.
They also realize that they're in Taldore, and they start walking. With Pike kind of, being like, "Hey, let's go,
Let's get
vamos,
the hell
bitches."
out of here.
Then we come back again, and Vex confronts the satyr, and questions him, and he says his name is Garmley, and I didn't know that until just reading this.
Garmili.
And they look into his book and see a bunch of vulgar drawings of them.
Yes.
But he does offer to guide them to where they need to go.
Yes, and
And
Percy had a line about why do I have 3 peni, which was
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. I mean, why not?
Why not? Artists,
Yeah.
whatever.
Artists have their own, you know, lens to see the world with.
Yes.
So then we come back again, and Grog can barely walk and doesn't want help because he's that type of guy.
Yep.
And he collapses, and Pike and Scanlan help him. And Scanlan, is actually being pretty helpful. Like, I feel like he's having like a not necessarily come to Jesus, but he's not being as funny as normal.
Yeah, he's not being like an asshole.
Yeah, he's being a little bit less Scanlan like.
Yeah.
Um, and I also feel like there's a little bit of a love thing going on between Pike and Scanlan. Like, I feel like everyone's trying to date their friend because if you think about the fact that like they're doing this at their D&D table, they're all just trying to date each other.
Yeah, but I mean, basically,
Yeah, and
they're just,
yeah,
flirting a little bit,
it's
hanging out.
actually funny because two of them are married, or well, there's two couples that play on the show, but
Right.
in season 2 of Critical Role, Laura and Travis's characters fall in love
Oh my.
and they're married IRL.
Look at that.
Scanlan does make some jokes though, but not as you know.
He's still taking care of Grog,
Yeah, 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 yeah. So back in the Fey realm, Garmelli, how were they saying it?
Garmili.
Garmili, follows the party, even though they don't really want his help. And Vax is attacked by a jellyfish-like creature, that turns into a gigantic jelly, which continues to attack. Vex releases Trinket, because Trinket's in a locket now, which is very handy. But isn't that kind of sad for Trinket? Like, Trinket doesn't have friends in the locket.
Yeah, he just sits there all by himself.
Yeah. But it's very focused on Vax. And then Vex and Keyleth are hit by spores and sent into a wild acid trip.
Which, yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and Vex hallucinates a conversation with Trinket, and Keyleth becomes one with the plants. And Vax sees a vision of the Matron of Raven's face as he fights. There's a lot going on in this scene. Percy joins him to help, trying to get his new invention to function properly. And eventually, Vax lures the creature into the water, and Percy electrocutes it, which is honestly kind of mean.
I mean, it was trying to kill them.
Well, yeah. And then Vax tells Percy he didn't want his help because these are all angry men.
Yes.
And Percy's like, "You guys are stubborn." I mean, basically.
I mean, as am I.
Vax realizes that the Fey realm is attacking him because of his armor, because his armor is like kind of attached, to the Matron of Ravens, the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
And they're in the Fey realm, and the Fey realm is all like good, more so than
like this shit is
Raven-y.
evil. Kill it.
Yeah. And he doesn't think Percy can follow him where he's going. Garmili is watching and drawing some more. And Vex and Keyleth wake up hungover and nauseous.
Yes.
Percy tells Garmili what they're doing. Or tells him that the bow, right? The bow is
Yeah.
Fenthras,
Fenthris.
is in the Shade Murk Bog, and he offers to guide them there. And Percy's like, sure, why not? But he says it more
Whatever.
Percy like.
Yeah.
And then the dragons, it cuts to like the dragons, or a scene with the dragons. And they're speaking magically to one another. Umbrasyl shows Thordak Mythcarver and explains that it's only one of the vestiges of divergence that could make the Chroma Conclave even more powerful. Thordak agrees he may seek them out, but he also brings Thordak more riches. And then Anna Ripley is there. Or I forget who she is. She's a chick, but I forget why she's important.
He's like just the mole that told him about the vestiges.
Oh, yeah. And then Pike, Scanlan, and Grog continue their trek. Grog is on a wagon, pretty helpless, and they reach a small cozy cottage. And then in the Fey realm, Garmeli leads the party to an overlook of an elven city, saying that one day it just appeared out of nowhere, and they need to go through it to reach the Shademark. Vex and Vax recognize it as Singorn, which is where they once lived with their father.
Family trauma incoming.
Oh, yeah. And I only read so far like the first 2 chapters of that book that's their backstory or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But in the first 2 chapters, it basically like they're just living with their mom in like a normal human town, and their dad just like shows up, but they don't know he's their dad, and he's just like talking to their mom all secretly. And that's kind of all that I've read so far.
Wow.
Yeah. And Mythcarver is a legendary longsword with a silvered blade that resonates with musical tones.
Ring.
Mm-hmm. And the Chroma Conclave is the name of the faction of the dragons.
Yes.
And then Anna Ripley was she was the follower of the Briarwoods. That's right. Percy attempted to kill her, but he was captured by her guards and interrogated.
He didn't quite succeed.
You can't win them all, bitch.
No, true. Aggressive drink.
I think my ice tastes bad. Okay, so that was I almost said chapter 7. That was episode 7. Episode 8 is called Echo Tree. And in this one, a lot of stuff happens.
It does.
We get to see, some new people, some new items. Pretty exciting. So the main, not the main party, but the larger party in the Fey realm, they enter Singorn, which is filled with a bunch of elves. So they kind of have to evade the guards because they don't fit in there, like, obviously. And also half elves, being in an elven place, like, not super great. They are guided by Garmele. His name is so weird. But they are eventually confronted and halted. And then Vex and Vax are like, we need to see Ambassador Vassar. He's our dad. And the guards are like,
oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just seemed odd to me that they just like took their word. Although I guess that they lived there at one point, so I guess people would know that he had those kids. I was just frozen with my mouth open.
Yeah, you were frozen for a little bit there.
Anyway, so they're taken to his home. They wait. Vex is very anxious and asks Percy if she looks like she comes from nobility. Did they tell their friends that their dad was like an ambassador? I don't remember.
I don't recall them doing that either. So I don't believe so.
They're greeted by their stepmom, I guess, who is surprised to see them and then shows them that they have a younger sister named Valora. So they really like V names here.
They do.
Vex and Vax are surprised, but they're like, OMG, a child. And they like her.
Oh my gosh.
But Sildor is very cold and angry and honestly kind of a bitch.
The mother?
No, the dad. Sildor.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the father for sure.
Okay, so then we get back to Pike and Scanlan and Grog. And they've dragged Grog into a cottage, and then it ends up being Pike's great grandfather, Wilhand, who raised her and Grog. So, just an old little gnome guy. Kind of cute. He's very excited to see them. but he is pretty sketched out by Grog's appearance. Like, whoa, buddy! Like,
Yeah. What
what
is
is the
going on
matter
with
with
you?
you? Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Incoming. Huh? No.
In Singorn, oh, dang it, just get it out.
Get it out. Get out of me.
In Singorn, Sildor explains that the city was transported when Emon fell, and they are preparing to fight the invading dragons. Percival's like, we're fighting the dragons too, and we need whatever,
Ventress.
Fenthras to overtake them. And Sildor's just kind of like very dismissive, being like, this is a rumor, like you're chasing rumors, like no one knows if that's there.
Yeah.
And then they like tell them at some point like who they are, like that they're Vox Machina, and he's like, oh, I've never heard of them.
Who? Who are you?
Yeah, he's just honestly being kind of a bitch. He's like, I've
Yeah.
never heard of a Vox Machina. And then Keyleth is like, we're a Vox Machina. And then she's like, I mean, we are Vox Machina.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Um, Percy does do a pretty good job though of being like, my name is Percival DeRollo the Third.
Very long name.
Whatever of Whitestone. And then the dad takes him more seriously because he's like royal or whatever.
Your nobility.
But he does not seem proud of his children. And he's very disbelieving of their story, I guess, or the fact that they're doing anything like good or awesome. Vex gets angry. They go like face to face, and then Vex is like, haha, I'm sorry, but can you help us?
She sucked up a little bit.
Yeah, she definitely has daddy issues.
A little bit.
Okay, so then back to the other three. Wilhand prepares a very large pill for Grog that needs to go up his butt.
Yes.
So Scanlan puts it in.
He shoves it right
After
in
saying something like, I know how to work both ends.
Yes.
Which, good for you, buddy.
Congrats.
So all that Sildor does to help them is give them like a letter that grants them safe passage. Just through the city, so they won't get stopped by guards or whatever.
Right.
And he wants him to amend it so that says Lady Vexalia instead of just Vexalia. And he's like, blah 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 blah, names, just the name, blah, I'm a bitch, blah.
I see.
Yeah. And he says something to Percy like that it's beneath his dignity to like ask for that or whatever. And then Vex is mad because like her dad's like, I don't want to see you again unless you have this bow with you because you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, basically.
And like now I feel like I want to read the book because like what's the deal there? That guy's a bitch.
You're a disappointment.
Like if you're gonna be bitchy to your kids because they're not full elves and don't have sex with a freaking human.
Whoa, what?
Anyways, so and then yeah, they basically leave after that. But otherwise they're not welcome if they don't have it. Yeah, they're not worthy of his time, basically.
Right.
Once they get back outside the city, they're rejoined by Garmele. No, what is it? Garmele? Why?
I thought they were calling him Garmele, but
I don't know.
it could be anything at this point.
Yeah. Percy and Vex have a little moment where he's like, I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. But she's actually happy, like, Omg, I love you. You stand up for me. You're solving all my daddy issues.
Just like that.
Yeah. So she kind of, I think, explains a little bit of living with Sildor, and she didn't really told him that she never really understood why he took them to live with him, even though he didn't act like he loved them. Then Percy gives her a mechanical arrowhead with exploding prongs. It's very sexual.
Oh, okay.
And then they continue traveling until they reach a shadowy area where Keyleth can sense sadness and longing.
It's no good.
And then they begin hearing whispers, which Garmele frantically urges them not to listen to, because it's a cursed archfey named Sondor, whose sadness can overwhelm a person. And as they continue to walk on, the voice singles out Vexalia.
Mm-hmm.
In Wilhand's cottage, Grog is still weak and withered, but the medicine got rid of his corruption. And so now he needs to awaken his muscles.
Yeah.
with
Somehow.
stimulation,
Right.
whatever stimulation means.
Yeah, they definitely made that joke too.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so back in the Shade Murk Bog, which that's just a name right there in itself.
Oh yeah.
They find a very large tree, and the whispers in Vex's mind are growing stronger, and she can already kind of like do some brain whispering. I feel like, but
Brain whispering.
um, she crosses the Murk alone. I think, right?
Yeah, she's like trying to cross it. She's like kind of spellbound by the whispers, and she's able to walk on top of the
Like
bog.
Jesus.
Yeah, but no one else could, so they couldn't catch her. So
Yeah. And she's being shown memories from her childhood, like painful memories, and Sondor's like, I understand your pain. Because remember, Sondor is feeling longful and sorrowful or whatever.
yeah, he's a sad boy.
Um, the tree opens and she walks through it as everyone just is kind of like,
What the heck?
where are you going? And at that point, Garmele disappears, saying they won't see him again because he's a little bitch.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So within the tree, Sondor approaches Vex. Um, like approaches her, like literally. Um, and the others are like imprisoned in vines. They can't really do anything. Um, but he basically is like, I know everything about you. And he extends a hand and she takes it and her eyes blacken. It's kind of like a sad moment. Like it's very sketchy, sad, kind of like a horror movie, but like not scary.
Yeah, it's just like kind of been taken over, basically.
Yeah. She's lost in like her memories of her childhood and like
And
rejection and
it
things like
shows
that.
him like fixing her bad memories to be good ones, and like yeah, so
Dennis, I
taking
can't
advantage of that
answer.
trauma.
Yeah.
Dennis.
Um, yeah, and he's like, you don't need your father's love. You need this bow. Um,
And you need me.
yeah, and he'll give it to her if she gives him what wait. She gives him what she longs to give and he could fix her. He needs her heart, apparently.
Ah,
But
there's the trick.
Vex comes to herself and shoves him away, saying, my heart is someone else's, which what does that mean?
Whoa, what?
And then as she hits him, she hits him, and then she walks away saying that he could never give her what she needs. He attacks her and they fight. And no one else can really help her because they're stuck.
They're dealing with their own
Um,
issues right now.
yeah. Although Keyleth, the dust turn into fire and destroy the vines.
Yeah,
But
and some
Vex and
evil trees.
Sondor, yeah, are still battling. And she's on the verge of defeat. Um, and then is confronted face to face. She pulls out the arrowhead that Percy gave her and puts it in his heart, and he collapses in a puddle of goo.
Killed
And
him.
when she picks up Fenthris, it glows in her hands.
Look at that. She's
Very
got a new
poetic.
bow.
Yeah. And Vex is like, and well, because I think Percy or someone is like, now you can go show your father, blah blah blah. And then
Oh
she's
yeah.
like, I don't want to see him.
I'm not ready yet.
And then Garmele reappears. They open up another portal to take them back to Taldore. And after they jump through, you see him transform into someone else. And you probably don't know who that is,
No idea.
but watchers of the show know who that is. And that is Artagan, the Traveler.
Oh.
Yeah. So he shapeshifted into a satyr. He's not actually a satyr. Um, in I don't know, obviously, like if he did have a role in campaign 1, like more than just that, but he has a very large role in campaign 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's an archfey. And let me just
Whatever
read
that
the
means.
description of that really quick. I believe that is just what you call so an archfey is a powerful fey creature with the influence, understanding, and power to bend the surrounding Feywild to its own will. So he has like really high magic, especially in the Fey realm.
I see.
Yeah. But he is a courtless archfey. He maybe not be right now, but he is basically has no court for most of what he's in.
You have no court, bitch.
But I was just like, oh shit, when I saw him transform into Artagan, because then I was like, I know who that bitch is.
I know you.
Just from Matt Mercer's beautiful descriptions in campaign 2, honestly.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, he's a minor deity in campaign 2.
Fancy.
Okay, so episode 9 is called Echo Tree.
That was episode 8.
God dang it, you're right. I forgot I opened that tab earlier. Episode 9 is called A Test of Pride.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on. And I will say that this is when I was eating my dinner, so I don't think I paid attention quite as well.
All bets are off.
Yeah. But it kind of starts with just like a small village being marauded by a bunch of Goliaths. They like immediately kill a child and they're like beheading people and setting houses on fire, like very much well, it's a flashback, but like very much I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just very brutal.
It is. Lots of murder, blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you see young Grog there. And you see his uncle Kevdak kind of being the leader, right?
Yes.
He's the leader. But then we cut back to the present with Grog, Pike, and Scanlan. And they are spying from their hiding place. And did it show them like leaving her great great grandfather's house? Because I was confused. I didn't remember them leaving, but maybe
I don't really remember it
maybe
that
they
well
did.
either, but I mean, I know they did because they were the whole time their goal was, oh, we know where those gauntlets are, so they were heading to Westerun the whole time.
Yeah, maybe they just like maybe it was like such a small flash in between that I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
But they are in Westrun now. But anyways, they're spying. And the city is semi-deserted. So Scanlan they're there because he's pretty sure that's where he saw the vision for the vestige of divergence, the Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Which are worn by Kevdak.
Yes.
And they watch as members of the Herd of Storms kill a resident. And Grog stops Pike from rushing to stop it, saying that they're really powerful. And he doesn't want them to see him in his weakened state, so he doesn't want to confront them.
Yeah.
Because he's not feeling very beefy.
He's still kind of weak.
Yeah. Scanlan's like, would you be impressed if I went and got this by myself? And she's like, that would be the bravest thing you've ever done. And Scanlan wants to do that, so he polymorphs into a dragonfly and flies off. Grog like talks about his past and about how he was vicious, bloodthirsty, and then the day he was about to kill Wilhand, he realized that Wilhand had a family and he second guessed himself.
He did.
He was like, I don't want to kill this bitch.
He had mercy.
Dragonfly Scanlan scouts the ruined and deserted town to find members of the herd discussing the growing scarcity of gold. They believe someone needs to stand up to Kevdak. And then suddenly Scanlan loses his dragonfly form and transforms back into himself. So he is captured. No, he runs away. No, he runs away.
Yeah, he runs. He gets away.
I forgot. I thought he was captured. Yeah, so he runs away and hides in the cellar where he finds a young female gnome who kind of looks like him, honestly.
Kind of, yeah.
And she's like, hey, like, where'd you come from, bitch?
Who are you?
And a bunch of civilians who are hiding and trying to escape, like they're trying to leave the city so that they don't die, basically. But they recognize his name because apparently he is a very popular singer and everyone knows about him. Right?
The famous traveling bard.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Grog's explaining to Pike that when he encountered, like, basically he's explaining why he didn't kill him. And his cousin, I think, found them and tried to start killing Wilhand, but Grog stopped him and tried to get Wilhand to safety. Leading him out of town was interrupted by Kevdak, alerted by Roar to what was happening, and then they fought. Wilhand ran away, and while wearing the knuckles, Kevdak beat Grog viciously, banishing him from the herd. And then he was found by Wilhand and Pike, who healed him and saved his life. And they were like, you know what? You didn't kill us and you defended us. So whatever. But then it made Grog feel like he was weak and a coward. So now he has deep shame.
He does.
And
Poor
that
guy.
explains about interaction with what's his name?
What do you mean?
The big monk guy, where he was like, where does your power come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scanlan learns that the people there are members of Dr. Dranzel's spectacular traveling troupe of musicians, and they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is partially why they've heard of Scanlan. They've also, they know what he's about, so they want him to help him, but he's like, I can't help you without my friends, because he knows he sucks.
Wow, harsh.
And they're like, well, your friends aren't here, bitch. But they do hear Umbrasil return with Anna Ripley on his back.
Oh, no.
And they are demanding that Kevdak show him to pay his tithe. And Anna's like, every time they bring us offerings, they get smaller. But what Kevdak is wearing is worth more than that. So the knuckles.
Right.
And he agrees to find more gold because you really don't want to piss a dragon off.
No.
And
they've
then
also kind of pillaged the whole city, so it's like, where are you going to get the rest of the gold, dude?
Yeah, and then Zandror, who is Kevdak's son, is like, there's no more, or that they're nothing more than servants. And Kevdak's like, no, like this is gonna let us rule the city. But I mean, I feel like Zandror's probably right. But he tries to fight his father and then loses.
You do.
Yeah. Pike and Grog see that encounter, I think. And Pike's like, we gotta go find Scanlan. So she plays dead, covered in pig's blood, and Grog carries her limp form to the other Goliath, saying she stole from Kevdak and he hunted her down. They allow him to pass. They don't know who he is, I guess.
No, he's been gone for a little while. So.
And he's skinny, looks different,
Got
lost a bunch of weight.
Now.
That's what happens, He had too much Subway. Scanlan agrees to help the group in hiding to escape, and they sneak through the city. He's making distracting illusions. He doesn't have his guitar or whatever, so he's using a borrowed flute. They run into Grog, and someone makes a joke about him being small. But his strength does seem to be returning.
He's at least able to like move around on his own.
Yeah, because Scanlan's like, oh, that hug kind of hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Grog says he's not leaving. And Grog tells Pike and Scanlan that someone has to take them down, and he defends to defeat them alone to stand up for the little folk.
The little people.
Yeah. And then that kind of ends with Kevdak addressing the herd, telling them that if his power is challenged, the challenge will be answered, even if it's his own son. Zanror is brought out in chains and is thrown down into the square, and Kevdak demands that anyone who believes they are more fit to lead step forward. And that's when you hear Grog shout Kevdak's name.
Yeah. Skinny little Grog in the back. He's like, what's up, bitch?
Yeah. He's like, I'm here for you, bitch ass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Pretty good on leaving it off on a little cliffhanger every week.
Mm-hmm. And Grog, that's funny because the quotes for this episode, there's only one. And it says, hitting hard and being big don't make you strong. It's standing up for the little folk. That's what makes me different from them.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Spoken like a poet.
And he don't even know it.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. Also, the air date for those episodes, 2/3/23.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yep.
What are you going to do on 2/23/2023 exactly?
I don't know. I was overwhelmed on the 23rd day of the millennium. I don't know what's going to happen on 2/23/23.
They're just going to explode.
Good thing there's not 23 months in a year.
God forbid. And then it's going to be 2/23 on that day.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
I mean, that's a Thursday.
That
I've
is
frozen
a Thursday,
lot in here, but
I know. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for this audio.
I mean, usually the joint audio track is always fine, and I just can't edit it as much.
Yeah.
Like I can't get out all of the like breath noises that I cut out because it like when we overlap, but
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, them there be bitches.
Them there be bitches, man. Okay. Well, another week down. Got some more episodes to go.
We got 3 more of these bitches, and then we're gonna have to pick something new.
And then we're gonna have to find a new topic. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah. Stuff is
Mhm.
getting busy. The amount of construction that we're gonna be doing this year, like this coming construction season, gonna be nuts.
Like what?
Like big roundabout project. That's gonna happen. So that's gonna be getting built. Little roundabout project over in Lewiston. That's gonna happen.
Wait, did you say they were putting a roundabout in the weird intersection, or is that somewhere else?
Yep. That's the one.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's gonna be wild. And that's like full-time inspection for one of our guys. Another one's halftime. One's like just under halftime. And there's another like quarter time or something, but we don't have enough people for that. So
Hmm.
it's time to divide and conquer, I guess. Could be interesting. Yeah.
Nice.
So I guess regardless, it's gonna be a busy summer for both of us. So
Yeah. And
you know,
I mean, if your guy gets enough people, you could coach too.
exactly. That's still up in the air. So who knows?
Yeah.
So episodes might get a little shorter.
Yeah, or every other week instead of every week.
Yeah, something.
But
Unless there's just an outpouring of support right now. Save
yeah.
us.
Give us a reason to live.
Oh God. Well, okay. I don't, that's pretty dramatic.
Uh,
Uh,
um, do you have anything else to talk about?
mm, no. I mean, everything I have to talk about is either about cars or shoes. So I think we've covered a lot of
Yeah,
that in the
we
past
talk
few.
about that stuff a lot.
I know.
Cheyenne's birthday present is supposed to be delivered tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
It's addressed to her, so
Oh, it's coming here.
yeah, I just got it shipped there. I texted her and told her that. I'm assuming she
Oh,
read it. She didn't respond, but you know,
okay.
sometimes she's like playing games and shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So you should give us a reason to live by liking and subscribing and downloading wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on our socials at 5 MMPOD. Send us an email to 5FIVE more minutes pod at gmail.com and share us with your friends and family. Wait, share us with your friends and family, your friends who are your family, and your family who's more like friends and family.
You did it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I guess with that, we'll clock out till next time.
All right.
Suckers.
Bye.